What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday in September. It's late. I think it's like the first Thursday. It doesn't matter. Point is, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings has come out tonight exclusively in theaters. Give you a bit of a plot breakdown. We get a wonderful, beautiful opening, which is very, cinematic, very poetic, ballet, martial arts, beautifully shot, kind of like a love story of sorts. A very tragic tale of a man who has come into power, who wants nothing but power, but then finds love that can stop him from wanting that one thing he always wanted most. And then we flash forward and we got Sean and his friend who are just valeting the hell out of some really hot rides. But then all of a sudden, on a bus ride home, they happen to have some people that are very interested in the pendant that Sean's wearing. One thing leads to another. We get a beautiful, and I mean a beautifully shot, action scene, which is a whole chase, very dynamic. We're inside the bus, outside the bus is flipping, it's turning, it's getting support from a garbage truck and all manner of craziness, and one thing leads to another, and we're flying halfway across the world so we can try to stop dear old Papa, aka the Mandarin, aka Wenwu, because he is on a quest to find his dead wife. You know, it's a very interesting movie, right? So when you see a Marvel movie, you know who the bad guys are. You know? I mean, you know Red Skull, you know Yellow Jacket, you know Killmonger, like you know the bad guys. Here, the bad guy is technically the Mandarin, and he has the 10 rings, although instead of being a terribly racist Asian caricature with 10 actual mystical magical rings, and he's got the Fu Manchu mustache, and no, we don't have any of that. Instead, it is, like I said, Wenwu, and he is just a man who has stumbled upon these magical armband rings who have immense power that he is able to control, who he's building this 700-year empire with and counting. But he's not really the bad guy, though. This is probably one of the first times where the bad guy, it's a very gray area. I mean, well, I wouldn't say the first time, because, in the Civil War, Zemo's not really a bad guy. There's motivations. He has his motivations for doing things, and the motivation here is desperation. I mean, desperate people do crazy things, and the man's just desperate to get his family back together in full. His wife, who died, he's desperate to get her back, because he swears and he feels that she's calling out to him, despite everybody telling him, bro, mom's dead. She's not coming back. You don't know what you're hearing.
They're all desperate to find something.
They're desperate for some kind of family connection.
And to find themselves. Because they've just been going through life
everybody's
trying
been
to forget
burned.
the past.
Everybody's been burned by family in one way or another. I mean, the dad never had a chance to truly settle down, even though he tried, because his past caught up with him. The son never had a chance to have a real family because mom died in front of him, and then dad went crazy, psychotic, evil, and trained him to be an unstoppable assassin. Dearest sister was tired of being pushed off into the shadows, watching dad focus all of his love and attention and effort on the brother.
Her.
Yeah, and then, inadvertently abandoned by the brother. I mean, everybody here has motivations that make sense.
Even Katie.
Even Katie has motivations that make sense.
To find who she is and what she wants to be.
Exactly, which apparently is a bow and arrow wielding badass that can stop a demon dragon from another dimension. It's an interesting movie that has some nice layers to it. We don't have
good action.
We do have some amazing action.
So good.
I mean, look, we've gotten the gold standard so far, if we can all agree here, is something like The Winter Soldier or Civil War, where it's nitty gritty, it's down and dirty, it's not high flying laser blasting robots or gods with Tim the Toolman Taylor's hammer or anything like that. It's a dude who just happens to be stronger than everybody else, who's beating the crap out of people. However, the biggest complaint that we can all probably agree with is that in traditional Marvel fashion, those kind of close-up fights and stuff like that, they're cut. They're always constantly cut.
Right.
You never get a clear-cut picture of the action most of the time. That stops today. You get a lot of long shots, some slow sweeping shots of the action. Everything is well-framed, beautifully choreographed. There's no unnecessary flourishes.
These people poured a lot into the choreography.
Yes.
And whoever the choreographer, I don't know your name, you
whatever
deserve
crew, like bring them back.
Fantastic.
Just, when the sequel gets greenlit, because let's face it, this is getting a sequel. Just bring them back. Throw all the money at them and bring them back.
So good.
Because one thing I like about this, it was very similar to the action that you see in something like John Wick. It's no nonsense action.
Mm-hmm.
Every movement, every punch, every kick, it has a purpose. And it makes for some beautiful action scenes. It's really intense, really in your face. But it also kind of harkens back to something like the old school Jackie Chan movies. You know, where you use the environment around you as well. And speaking of environment, this is a beautiful movie. Okay? Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. The movie starts off beautiful, okay? And we get some very stunning visuals and some stunning locations. And of course, you know, we're in San Francisco for part of the movie. And it's always nice to see. No, Ant-Man does not show up. Neither does Jimmy Woo. He's off trying to figure out what the hell Wanda's up to. But it is a very, very good-looking movie, especially at the end when we finally get to our great mystical land in another dimension. We get these fantastical creatures and these giant lions and the Great Protector, the dragons and everything. We do get some stunning visuals. And let me tell you, the visual effects and the CGI on the Great Protector,
really good.
Top-notch, okay?
Really good.
Very, very top-notch. Now, maybe it's just because we also saw this in Dolby, which is like basically a 4K projection. Dolby. But, it was beautiful. It was stunning to look at. I mean, you can have all the flashiest visuals possible, but it has to be backed up by solid acting. And here we have a solid end game cast. Mrs. Taco, you can hide that because we know what you're going to say. You have Simu Liu as Shang-Chi himself. And you know what? It's funny, right? Because in the trailers, he doesn't really talk. He doesn't really say anything.
No, not really.
You know, they kind of hide his personality a little bit. He's very just stoic in the face. But here, I mean, he's like, he starts off as an everyman, you know? He's got to wake up. He's got to go to work, you know? But then at night, he's going to kick back, drink a couple beers, get absolutely plastered, and sing Hotel California with his best friend. And, I mean, he's like your every guy. But when it comes time to deal with family and all, you can see that. You can see that hurt little kid behind those eyes. You can see that his motivations, that he's just trying to get Papa back. Just to get that family back, what little they have left. You have Awkwafina as his best friend, maybe girlfriend, you know, maybe future wife, Katie. You know, she's a very boisterous personality. You know, she's the loudest person in the room. She's that one loud best friend that every single person has. But she does well towards the end, and like in the quieter moments when she realizes
in the quieter moments.
Yeah, in the quieter moments when she realizes that there is something bigger out there that she needs to kind of simmer down a little bit for and fight for. And of course you have dearest Papa Wenwu, played by Tony Leung, who, I mean, the dude just intimidates you. It makes you wet yourself just by looking into his eyes. I mean, he is a frightening individual. And you have a very unexpected, very much appreciated, very extended cameo by Ben Kingsley, a.k.a. Trevor Slattery, the actor, a.k.a. Fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3. He's not annoying.
No, not at all.
He has a purpose. And
you know, I feel like it's funny. I feel like they brought Awkwafina on to be, you know, that great best friend and to also bring some comedic relief.
Yeah.
But then I feel like that guy was better at doing that than she was. She was just annoying a little bit.
Well, they kind of traded off roles there, you know, because, I mean, towards the end, Awkwafina was very less comedic, and she just really stopped talking,
but she was doing more action, which I appreciate. Not that she's fine. I don't know, she just does something not good.
Overall, Mrs. Taco, what do you give Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings?
It's so hard, you know, because the action, some of the cast's acting was really, really good.
All of it.
But then it was just like some of it kind of... I'm sorry, it's going to have to be a 2.75 for me.
You just can't give it a 3?
No.
I would give this a number, but I think you guys already know where I stand with, you know, previous ratings and my glowing praise of the movie. I can't really compare it to the rest of Phase 4 that we've gotten so far, because there's really only technically been one movie.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, this was a great movie. Now, this is definitely up there in some of the top origin movies that Marvel has put out over their 13-year history so far. It's very personal. It's very family-oriented. I mean, it's not really world-ending stakes. It's family-ending stakes, which is nice and refreshing, which is why I love those Ant-Man movies so much.
True. That's very true.
It's a great movie. So with great action. It has a great star in Simu Liu, and it has a great supporting cast. Wong is as wonderful as ever. It's great to see the other little Marvel cameos pop up here and there. Go check it out. If you guys have seen it, let us know down in the comments below what you think. If you liked it as much as I loved it, let me know. If you agree with Mrs. Taco and Aquafina is unbearable, then let me know.
You can say it.
It's all right. You can say it, you know. I mean,
she's great in whatever else she does.
You don't even know. If you guys enjoyed it, of course, let us know. And keep it locked in here for the next movie review.
Ooh, yeah.
And we'll see you guys on the next go-round. Adios.